Okay. So today we have Eliam Ramos. He's from Puerto Rico. A friend of mine. Live here in New York City. Eliam.
Yes.
Thank you for coming, man.
My pleasure to be here, man. My pleasure.
So you were in Israel, right? A couple months ago.
Yep. I just 2 days ago I got back. I spent a whole month there in a summer program, an opera summer program. So
Yeah.
it was pretty intense. Actually, it was nice, good, but intense.
It seems like you were having a lot of fun too. I saw a lot of pictures there.
Yeah.
Nice pictures though. So that was very good. And also a lot of performances also.
Yeah, we had 3, which is kind of, a lot for a long opera, but it was a good experience. We were doing Don Giovanni. I mean, they were doing the production of Don Giovanni and La Traviata.
Yeah.
But I was in Don Giovanni.
So basically it was like a Mozart kind of workshop or something like that.
Well, that one. Yeah, but La Traviata is from...
No, Puccini, I think it is. Yeah. So basically what? Italian operas?
Yep, at least this time they did another operetta.
Yeah.
That was in German.
That was German, right?
But the big ones were Italian.
So weird, man, because when I went to Italy, they mostly did like Italian stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't go, let's do a little bit of German or maybe a little bit of English. They just went straight Italian.
For some reason, I think the Italian ones are more... Not all of them, but if you see the operas that most of people know about, they are usually in Italian. I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe it's the nature of the Italian or the Italians, right? They're more relaxed. They are very funny to be around. Yeah, so maybe that is reflected in the music. Maybe you see buffa, I think they call it, like these funny comedian operas. It's the same thing. I mean, they just written in Italian, right?
Yeah,
mainly, right?
Yeah, a lot of them.
So you have that, and then of course versus the German, which is more roughy as a language, it's like all that stuff. Yeah, so I mean, you can see the difference. And then when you hear the Italian language itself, it's very romantic.
Yeah, it's kind of softer too.
Yeah, it's very, pasta thing, So, why New York City, man? Why you chose New York City rather than Boston or Milwaukee, Chicago, Los Angeles?
Well, I studied at the conservatory in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And when it was time to look for somewhere else to do the masters, I actually I took a lesson with a teacher in Cincinnati, another one in Illinois, another one in Connecticut, just to try different things. And then I applied to them, but then a teacher from Puerto Rico was teaching in New York. And
he was
Carlos Conde.
Carlos Conde, yeah.
Exactly. And for me, it doesn't matter where you study in terms of voice. If you find a teacher that really can move your voice and make you take your voice to the next level, even if he's in a cornfield, you go there. You go there. You don't go by the name of the school.
Which is what, if you hear something in the background, just my friend just making some breakfast. So, but I know Carlos Conde, he was working also in Brooklyn College.
Yeah.
So he was a jewelry instructor also, I think, right?
Yeah, he was like
kind crazy,
all over. The man, it's all over the place. But when I first started with him, he was in Brooklyn College. Then he was going to teach in Mannes.
Yeah.
And they gave us the chance to audition the people in his study, and I passed. So I moved to Mannes.
Okay.
So I was kind of following him.
Yeah.
But he really... Maybe it's because he's a baritone too.
Oh, okay. So he understands your voice better.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I know a couple of friends. Alexandria was one. She was taking lessons with him too.
Lisnet too.
Lisnet, yes. Lisnet was also a lot of folks from Puerto Rico were taking lessons with, and he went also to the Conservatory of Puerto Rico.
Yep. After that, he moved. He was the dean of the conservatory.
Yeah, the dean. So it's a very well-known and rounded musician. He's not one that you should play around. And I'm assuming he has a lot of connections also. Yeah. So that's one of the main reasons people were following him too. Like, if he can recommend you to any opera houses here in New York City or in the States, right?
Yeah.
You'll probably get in. Yeah. So that's another reason why people was following.
Totally.
And also, I don't know how you move around here in New York City in terms of getting gigs and getting opportunities here. So how do you manage to just be around?
Since I came, my main goal was to do my master's.
Yeah.
I was fully full time in school.
Yeah.
And the first things I did was through school. They did a production of Rigoletto, a production of Il Viaggio a Rhymes from Rossini. And from there, you get to know people. From there, I then sang with a small company. They did also opera in the Slope.
Yeah.
That's in Brooklyn too. They did another production of Rigoletto.
Yeah.
So I sang in school and with them. Like you said, through Carlos, I got in contact with a friend of mine. Her name is Ashley Bell, and she has a small company called Divaria Productions. And her with another small company from Spain, Rioja Lírica. It's a part of Spain. They did a production of La Zarzuela La Dolorosa in New York. That was my first thing after the college. And from there, it's like a
just
cycle.
kept going, right?
It's like a cycle. For me, one thing I've always said, it's like, doesn't matter if you get like to say or sing 2 lines, and that's it. It doesn't matter how small.
Yeah.
The
even if you're a tree or something like that,
doesn't matter.
a
if
rock.
You're the best tree, the best the best sheep, whatever. Man, people notice. If you show them time, if you do your work, if you know what you're saying, people then consider you to bigger things and bigger things and bigger things, and that's how it's been for me, all the way.
And also, it's fair to say that you have to be humble also in this process.
Well,
and patient, humble and patient, because I know it sounds silly, right? But someone has to be the tree, and they're not going to give the tree, how can I call it? It's not section. The tree part. We can call it part.
The role, yeah.
The role, yeah. We can they're not going to give the tree role to the prima donna or the diva or something like that. They're not going to do that. So someone has to do it, and mostly they will give it to the newbie, right? The new one, yeah. Because that's how it is. You need to learn. You need to earn your respect. It's a weird thing, but that's how it works. You have to they have to see that even though you're doing the role of a tree, they want to see that you do the best role of a tree.
True.
And then from there, you probably do an aria of a minute, and then probably 5 minutes, 2 arias or something like that. Then from there, you start building and building. But don't expect to be the diva or the prima donna of an opera after you just graduate from college, which is great, which is very crazy. Because one thing is to work in a college, right? College environment.
Yep.
But then another thing is to work with people and money.
Yeah. Very different.
They want to make sure that you make profits. And I do it myself when I do my concerts here in New York City. I'm always thinking about that. I'm always thinking, okay, how can I make profit about this?
Yep.
I'm still booking a place and I'm still booking a concert, but then I need to make sure that I make profit of this thing.
Exactly.
Because then you're not going to do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in that case, I don't know if you encountered something like that, like.
Well, yeah. In what you mentioned before, I was in actually the first thing I ever sang like professionally.
Yeah.
It was in Don Giovanni, actually, the same opera that I was doing. I was in the choir. Just
By the way, I love the last aria. Don Giovanni. I love that thing.
Actually, I was in the bass section.
Yeah.
And one day, it was a Sunday. I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was a Sunday. I was in church, and then I saw a call from the director. By the time it was Antonio Barasorda, who died recently. Sorry about that.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He called me like, Eliam. He has these particular words like, Eliam, I need you to learn the part of the commendatore.
Yeah.
Because the guy is getting sick, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wow. Shucks. And it's the same part that you say, oh, Javon.
I love that part, man. Oh.
And I ended up like, just, practicing just in case, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up doing it.
Oh, wow, man.
The guy really got sick. And
not to say that we are condemned. we are,
at all.
We want people to get sick to get the role. No, we're not saying that.
No. And actually, if I would just like study the part, but the guy was okay and he sang it, that would be something else. Yeah. Even that, because they consider you to be the backup.
Yeah, of course.
So that meant something for me. So even if I didn't get to do it in the performance per se,
you already have the part very well. Yeah, exactly. It's very sport thing, right? If you watch the NFL, baseball, right? You're working in these farms on these farm teams, right? Which are backups, right? If the pitcher of the Boston Red Sox get injured, you have some backup, and then so on and so forth. So it's very similar to the opera scene, of course. For the pianos scene, I don't think it's like that. You just better do something. Just try to make connection. Just tell your best of yourself, and you probably get something. Yeah. And also, Puerto Rico, man. Have you been in Puerto Rico lately? Have you tried to contact some of the folks there to do some operas and stuff like that?
No, not really. In terms of singing, I think I've been in the last 2 years because of a medical condition, a little bit out of the
scene.
Yes. Yeah, I had to. I really had to. It was like a horrible pause. I felt like I was doing nothing with my life. Oh, I'm wasting. But this summer program in Israel, it was like a comeback. It was good. I learned a lot. I polished a lot of stuff that was a little bit rusty. Yeah. But I'm so glad that I could do it. That I was able to do it. Man. It was not that it wasn't like a lost cause or nothing. So maybe after this, they see more stuff, that they see that I'm doing better. Yeah. Because they do know about the condition too. So they will not want to put that much pressure on me.
That's a very good thing, man. When I knew about your condition, right, I was like, this guy really is a very good example of what things you can achieve, even though you have this condition. Yeah, and you still just keep going, which is very good, man.
It's hard. I to be honest, it's hard to sometimes tell yourself like, don't get discouraged. Come on, you can do it. You're not feeling good today. Tomorrow is gonna be better. Yeah, keep it up. And then for me, when I had to take the pause, it was the pause from a few things. Not only
it was a bummer, right?
School, not only school, but also like the chance to work. I had a few. Like 2 productions that I was gonna be part of, and they knew about it. So I prefer to say, like at the beginning, hey, I'm not feeling good. This thing is a little bit out of control. I think it's better if I take a pause now than keep working and you counting, with me with my part, and then something happens and you have to look for someone else. Yes, it's better if you look for someone else now.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna take a seat. We're gonna keep in contact. We're gonna keep in touch. I let you know how things are going. And that was it.
And how many years or how long was that pause?
2 years and a half.
Oh, that's a long time.
It was.
For
like
for a classical musician, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yes. 2 years of barely taking any voice lesson, any coaching, barely singing classical music. So it was rough. That's why I'm saying that singing this summer, I'm so glad that it was not, lost, even though I was not doing it like daily or weekly basis.
Yeah, you can say that you have a small relaxed time when you were in Israel. You were meeting, I mean, I can assume like you were just enjoying your moment, but at the same time you were working or taking the best out of the trip.
Totally. Actually, the working came first. I could say that I had probably 5 days or 6 off. The rest was working.
Right?
From 10 a.m. being there till 7.
Oh wow!
It was a lot.
That's very good.
And then the character that I was doing, which is Leporello, he's the servant of Giovanni. That guy is in almost every scene. And the way the director wanted to present it was kind of in a buffo way.
Yeah.
So I was jumping, I was sleeping, they were throwing me in the floor, they were hitting me. I was doing and every day the same thing, every day. And then during the program they had 3 presentations, so it was 3 casts. So the first time we did the show, I did it with one Giovanni and one of each. But then for the second, the people changed, the cast changed. So I would have to do the same thing, but then trying to create that relationship, for the jokes with the new Giovanni, and adjusting all of that to the body language of the other person.
God,
the way people react. I can make a joke with you, but you won't react the same way as someone else.
So then you have to figure out. That's very hard, man. If you tell a joke in that case, or you try to present whatever is your role, right, and then you're not getting the reaction that you're expecting, all of a sudden you're off.
Exactly. But what helps is if since it's not improvising, let's say, if you know exactly what happens in the scene, what happened before, what needs to happen there that affects what's coming up, then whatever they throw at you can better react to the moment, even if it's different. For example, if the first Giovanni will joke and be super rough with me, like grabbing up my shirt, like and I will act like scared, whatever. But the second Giovanni was not as rough.
Okay.
But I needed to have the same reaction. So even if he did like a subtle gesture with the hand, I should react the same way.
Yes.
Because my character don't change. So that was a challenge. That was a challenge. But it was fun. Yeah. It was fun.
So what about? This is very interesting. Okay, opera.
Yeah.
And musical theater.
I have not yet had the chance to do a musical, like whole musical production.
Yeah.
But
keep this a little closer. There you go.
Yeah. But I think it depends. It depends on the opera.
Yeah.
For example, because Don Giovanni has characters like Leporello, Giovanni at some parts, Mazzetto. You have different people from, let's say, different classes.
Yes.
Like, how can I say? Like social
structures. Yeah.
Exactly.
So from a lot of rich people
to farmers, and servants. So within each part, then you can be more flexible, not so tight. You don't need to be like so royal or so serious. You can be more
freely, right? Yeah.
Free. So, but you don't have that in every opera. You don't have that in every
because mostly all the operas, and again, we go to Beethoven, all these Beethoven. I don't know, not Beethoven. Beethoven is not a good example, but for example, Wagner. You just keep going. Carl Mario von Weber. All these great opera composers. And these are serious, very serious operas. I mean, you don't have a lot of this relaxed environment.
Yeah. It really depends on the composer. Depends on the scene director.
Yeah.
The way he wants to present it, how modern, how close to the age.
Yes.
Those
are more conservative, right? When they want to just go, let's do the fry shoot, right? And then let's just do it very conservative, like their own clothes. Instead of doing it like, let's just try to do it today's culture.
Exactly.
Yeah, which could be a good bump, right, to the opera scene too. Like if you at least take the culture of today's, right? I'm not saying change the music, not saying that, but at least give space to be more compelling to today's culture.
Yeah, I think that's one of what will make a little bit more even the
separation
playing an opera and a musical.
Yes,
because the musical, it's a more like a younger genre.
But it's the same thing.
Exactly. You have to sing, you have to act.
Yeah, it's the same. Let's say it's the same structure, right? You have the small arias. You have recitative,
like solos.
Yeah, you have all that stuff. They are, of course, in musical taste. They're a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
I was very relaxed environment, right? Versus the opera, you have the recitativos, all the notes are written, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's very similar. If you move the opera in the sense of more modern culture without changing the music, I'm not saying don't change the music.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to fit today's. I want to go more to the clothes because that's what really comes to my mind. But that's a good step,
Uh-huh.
And
totally.
And then the difference between the two will be mostly minimal, very minimal. And because I worked with a lot of musical theaters, and when I go to the pieces, I'm like, this is just a little bit different here in style, stuff like that. But this is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They had to read the notes. They had to learn the line. They had to act inside their solo section or the aria. Let's call it aria, right?
Yeah.
They have to do the same thing.
Yep.
So the difference is that this one's more modern, and this other one is treated as a more old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Another difference would be also the way you sing.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. The technique.
The technique. If you want to sing, for example, Mozart versus
Memory.
Let's say
Memory. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a lot different. It's a lot different if you want to treat the music the way the composer thought of it.
Yes.
But then you have this humongous gap of time.
Yes.
That is different. It's a little bit harder to compel to that in the modern.
Because you have to put more work too.
It's a lot more work. You have to investigate how they sang, look for all recordings, notes from the composer, how this should be sung, whatever. When he composed it,
what was going on in his life?
Going on, the theater, the orchestra, how big was it?
Yes.
What the singer needed to be heard above, because they didn't have any mics.
Mm-hmm.
Which can be a little bit different. For example, the classical part from the musical in terms of instrumentation.
Yes.
You have more electrical stuff, keyboards, different effects.
The instrument, a lot of percussion too. Today's
exactly.
Musical. Back then, in the opera scene, you have more an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably you have a very few percussions. Probably the timpani.
Exactly.
Maybe how can I call this? A triangle, something like that. Yeah. So very few. A gong, right? Probably just to represent like a climax and stuff like that. Compared to today's musical, which is like an evolution of the opera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's more percussion emphasized, right? And which is fine. I mean, just by the time that was created, the only thing that they have was a piano and percussions, and you have jazz all around the place. So you have to, as a composer, I have been in those situations where you only have violin, clarinet, and you have to make something out of it. Yeah.
Totally.
By the time, the only thing that they had was a couple instruments, then you have to make music out of it.
Exactly. And besides the influence that the composer had at the moment, for example, back then, say back Mozart, Beethoven, all of that, what music was around them?
Yeah.
But now, if you want to compose something now, you probably will put something with trap, reggae, or something.
Yeah, that would be crazy, man.
Can you imagine?
I wouldn't go that far, but that's crazy.
No, but just say, or maybe like a hint of something, I don't know, more Caribbean, or something more Latin, or something. So you have more sounds that you can put into
you have more diversity in music genres, right?
Yeah,
which is good, right? But then at the same time, which is happen, you can get lazy because there's more diversity in music. But then because there's a lot of diversity, to say, I want to be so different that I get mediocre.
Yeah,
you have to be very careful with that. And thus happens. I'm a composer, and thus happens in the composition world a lot. I want to be so different, so damn different, that I want to just make nothing. I just want to John Cage style, just, what? I don't want the piano to sound like a piano.
Exactly.
I just want to put a lot of stuff inside the piano, just make something out of it. That's cool and everything, but
tie a chicken from somewhere.
Yeah,
cool, but
you don't want to go to the extreme either,
No.
Which is the ego effect. It's the ego effect, yeah. So we have to. It's good to have an ego. As a musician, I have an ego. You need it, which is very important.
Exactly, you need it.
You need it, yeah.
But a healthy one.
A healthy one. You don't want to go that extreme. Like, let me just write the composition for piano, but I don't want the piano to sound like a piano. So I don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about I know that you do have a lot of followers in your private Facebook, which is weird, man. I try to do that. It's very hard. So what do you do?
It's friends. At least Facebook for me, it's I don't have a lot of pages and stuff. So Facebook for me, it's like a platform to let people know what I'm doing.
Yes.
So I have friends. I have people that I know giving workshops in Puerto Rico, from choirs, different choirs that I've been into, workshops that I've done in different churches, for example, with music teams, musicians, singers. So all of that, people that you can add, people from school. So many contacts from school. Maybe we're not like, we never took a class together. We didn't have any close relation, but it's someone that is a musician that works in the same thing that you, and something might come up for you that you might need him, or vice versa. So it's just good to have contact.
Yes, that's very good, man. I tried to get my Facebook optimized, and for some reason I'm not getting my likes and stuff like that and shares. Maybe I need to fix something. I don't know what it is. I get more likes on Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram, people do like my stuff. I get my 50 and 60 likes, which for me is a huge thing.
Good.
Believe it or not.
But
then when I get to Facebook, probably, I have to be honest, lately I've been receiving weird people trying to confirm or add me as a friend, which is very weird. Like, I receive a lot. I really receive a lot of friend requests from weird people around.
Usually are girls that look good, but it's like, where do I know you from?
No, those are scam and spam. No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about real people trying to add me from around the world, which is very weird. I get people that from Philippines, Russia, a lot of Russia. I get people from England, from the States too.
Okay.
But people that don't know me, I don't know what's going on, that I'm receiving a lot of friend requests from.
And do you have mutual friends?
Yes, mutual friends, but I don't know that person.
Yeah, that happens to me. I have a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
And if we have certain like mutual friends, I will say, okay, so he's from this, this circle, or
Yeah.
he do this. Okay, let me see first. What does he have in his page or her page? Nothing too crazy. He's not killing anybody.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, you can find weird stuff in
Yeah.
Facebook, man.
So
I
it's
mean,
like, should I be linked to this person
Yeah.
or not? And then, yeah. But then when comes things like the trip to Israel, if I
Yeah.
need to, like I had to do for this trip, the GoFundMe page,
Yes.
whatever, you have more people that you can send stuff
Yes.
to. And they stay in touch with what you're doing.
The GoFundMe thing was very interesting. I did receive a very humble amount, I would say, but I think it was like $500 or something like that, which was good, man.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
covers.
me too. It was around that.
It was very good. I need to. I think when I was checking the statistics of my GoFundMe, it wasn't reaching a lot, and then Facebook tried to ban my link because I was sharing it too much in different groups, right?
Okay.
There's different groups in Facebook of donations, and I tried to send my links to a couple of the groups in Facebook, and I was getting hit by Facebook, man.
Ooh.
Very close to just get banned.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So I was very close to just. So the last, I think, was 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, okay, man, I cannot just keep posting because I already got like 2 or 3 strikes, something like that.
Oh, wow.
So I stopped. It was crazy.
Usually when I shared it, I shared it on Messenger.
Okay.
Like to the people per se, or on my page.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a lot of people
Yeah.
following. But if not, I think the same thing would
Yeah.
have happened to me.
Because this is not the first time that I did a GoFundMe page. I did a couple, and the last one before the one that I did for Italy was for Reno, because I got accepted and those stuff. I wanted to continue pursuing my studies, and it was good. I was just sending my links to different groups and stuff like that. I never received anything. But now Facebook, of course, I gotten more stricter. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm very limited to things I share in Facebook. I can only share a post 5 or 6 times a day. That's it. In different groups. That's it.
Wow, but
I got it that crazy. That, of course, that's me. Maybe a lot of folks. Because I got a strike also from a company that I run, affiliate marketing company.
Okay.
And they were telling me like, oh, you cannot keep promoting this product because it's violation of, I don't know, well, I don't remember. It's telling something that is true. It's not true. Something like that. Because remember, they have algorithms. They don't have people.
Yeah.
It's not a weird guy with glasses just saying, hey, Pablo, your post or your page is not real.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that. It's just algorithms. And based on those algorithms, they just target certain things. Yeah.
Crazy.
And then if your thing is true, but then inside that algorithm, for some reason, it's not true for them, they can block it.
Yeah.
And right now, I cannot run ads. It's none of that. So I'm like, okay. Everything is organic.
Yeah.
Everything is organic traffic, man. SEO. Do you hang out with people here from Puerto Rico in New York City?
In New York City, Puerto Ricans, it's actually the minority. Most of the people I know are from Panama, different islands, like Trinidad, Tobago, Curacao, St. Thomas, Dominicans. But Puerto Ricans?
Me too,
Not
man.
really. Not really.
Actually, I will tell you, Alexandria and you are the only 2 Puerto Ricans that I just talk.
Wow. I mean,
the others are just, people from the States, the other states. I think my roommates, she's from Dominican Republic. They too. I mean, not from the Dominican Republic, just their heritage is from.
okay.
Then the other ones are German, is from Germany, and the rest is just all over the place.
Well, I have a friend in New Jersey. I text him. Let's count that.
Yeah.
But people that I hang out with here,
Yeah.
no.
No, I just mostly go, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many Puerto Ricans are around here. It seems like there's some,
Yeah,
but
and
I don't see
I
them.
See banners. I see
Yeah,
some
exactly.
Banners, but
Yeah.
it's like,
But I don't see them, which is weird. I see a lot of Dominicans around here, good people. I like them. And yeah, I went to the low east side for church. I think it was a Catholic church for an interview, and I knew that the people that were running the church were Puerto Ricans because of their accent. They were speaking Spanish. Okay, they're Puerto Ricans, and the people that were living around were Puerto Ricans. So I was like, oh,
it's such a funny thing where you recognize something or someone by the accent. It's like, oh yeah, and then you start thinking, which part of Puerto Rico? Which part of Puerto Rico?
And they start talking. I'm like, oh, these are Puerto Ricans.
Yep,
these
exactly.
are Puerto Ricans. I don't know. I think I can guess they were mostly from the east side of Puerto Rico.
Okay.
The way they were speaking the way they were speaking with that slang going up, right? Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, hello, you know, like, yeah, hello, tipo, okay, you know that slang. Yeah. So that's mostly like east side.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm from the east side, but the west side also have the.
We have our issues too. We speak very fast, man. We speak very fast. So when I had to tell you, when I went, thing was last year to the island, right? Because I stopped speaking with Puerto Rican. The only Puerto Ricans that I speak is my family, right? And I only speak in a very short time. Sometimes with my friend in Florida, and they have a very, slow pace. I went back to Puerto Rico. It was a little bit hard for me to just. When? Last year.
Okay.
The end of December. And it was very hard for me just to keep up. Keep up. It was a little bit hard because when you are desensitized of the culture, and then you go back, you're speaking with people that do speak the language a little bit slower.
Yeah.
So you get used to that, and then you go back and like, what you were saying again? Yeah, it happens to me a lot. Of course, it's not a bad thing. It's not either bad or good thing. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my experience.
Wow.
I have all the experience, but I don't want to talk about it, man, because.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how that was after the hurricane, right?
No. Yes, it was after the hurricane. Yeah.
How was it? By your side of the island.
It was okay. I live in the west side of the island, Las Marias, a town called Las Marias, right? There's a lot of trees, a lot of mountains and stuff like that. But when I went there, everything was already, grown up. Okay. So it wasn't like big thing. But man, the streets and the roads were just falling apart, man. It was crazy. Like the mountains were sliding down. Yep. Slide down. Like it was a very weird experience. My dad sent me some videos and pictures of the aftermath. It was horrifying, man. It's like a atomic bomb just wiped everything.
Exactly. Like I told you, I live in Rio Grande. That's in the northeast part. And I actually was visiting when the hurricane came. So on one side, I'm happy that I was there because I was able to then help my family after. And that was one part. The second one, it's that communication just
went off, right?
So I would have been going crazy here trying to reach them. So that was a good thing. But I'm telling you, it was like Rio Grande, they call it La Ciudad del Yunque, the city of the Yunque, which is U.S. rainforest.
The rainforest,
actually. So you have a lot of green. And after that, it was like winter here when you see the trees with no leaves.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But hot. It was like a weird
feeling.
winter scene, but it felt like summer, super hot. It was
Atomic bomb.
like an atomic bomb.
Yeah,
And
basically.
everything was brown. Everything was brown.
yes.
Dry.
Yeah, my dad sent me a picture, and you know the downtown, Las Maria downtown, is in a mountain, right?
Yep.
And around that mountain, there's a lot of trees, right? He sent me a picture, man, and that mountain was completely, you know, you could literally see everything, because where I live, there's tree everywhere. And when the hurricane came, you literally could see everything, man. It was. He sent me some
Like
pictures. I'm like,
wiped out.
wow, man, it's weird, very weird. And they didn't have any communications with the federal government or the federal aids after 2 weeks. But my family was. I mean, you know how Puerto Ricans are. They really well, in the West Side, they're used to that. They used to, oh, there's a hurricane. Oh, let's just buy a lot of stuff and just
Same thing.
Yeah, Rio Grande. I'm assuming it's the same thing. So they hold on, right? They hold on for 2 weeks. That was not a big deal. They're very family oriented, so families are very.
Helped. Yep, that's good.
Yeah, that's a huge thing in my family. Family commitment, strong family values, and they have plants, electric plants and stuff like that. That was not a huge problem. But when the federal government came, or the federal aid came, they gave too much to my family, so they have to. So my mom did was to take all those things that she didn't need, just go to those small towns around the area.
Good.
Just start giving, and that's Puerto Rican value. I really love that.
Yeah, that's super nice.
The family value in the island, especially in those small towns. You will see a lot of those things.
Yeah.
You still will see people offering coffee when you go, right? You want cafe? Síguele. Are you sure? I just made it. Are you sure? They will give you coffee. Those things.
True. Even when they have nothing else, they offer at least coffee. Yeah.
Food, those for.
Yep.
And that's, I don't know if you guys still do it there in Rio Grande, like.
At least my family, it's been like yours, especially on my mom's side. They've always been like together for everything, everything. And for the hurricane was the same thing. Everybody was there. Everybody like sharing.
Yes.
The
playing games.
Yes. My brother. Hey.
Those old school games, right?
The whole street. I mean, that's because it was a lot of young people that never experienced a hurricane that big before.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh yeah, let it come." So they don't have school. They're just thinking about they're gonna be.
They were thinking about school, but not
that they won't have
the
any
aftermath, right?
Exactly. But then after, you see all these guys from different, like 3 houses down or 4, everybody just playing cards or everybody just playing whatever and fanning themselves with plates or something because it's mad hot and the mosquitoes are like all over.
Crazy.
But there are experiences that, I don't mean, they don't come from a happy place because it's a hurricane, but it can touch you or change you the way you perform.
And also, it gives you a reality check also.
Yes. Totally.
Reality. You know that you're a privileged human when things like this happen.
Yep.
And all those things that you thought were valuable just wiped away. Then all of a sudden you just here. You have to deal with the circumstances, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I spoke with my family, they realized that they were very privileged, right? Yeah. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, we are a very rich island, right? Yeah. And those things were away because we didn't. In reality, you don't need those things, right? Metaphorically, right? Of course, we need internet. I can live with my internet, but then there's things more important than that.
Yeah, of course.
And then those experience make people humble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They managed to just make families united again.
Yeah.
We need to work together to make things happen. you have a piece of bread, I have a piece of meat. Let's try to share it.
Yep.
You know,
Yep, totally. And the phone, man, the phone.
It was crazy.
First of all, you didn't have where to charge it because then you need to save the power, the electricity from the plant for something else, for the fridge, for the fan.
So you make a like priority list.
Yeah, and that phone becomes like nothing. And maybe if you have family like in other parts of the island or something, then at least where I live, people like driving like far to get some signal to then communicate with somebody. But it was not something that that we always like.
My family has to travel to Mayagüez, to the town of Mayagüez, to get signal.
I live in Rio Grande. I had to go to Carolina, which is like 2 towns towards the west,
to the west, right?
Signal.
And the inflation was high as hell, like $15 just for a couple of bottles of water.
Yep.
Which is very expensive.
Crazy.
So people didn't understand that. It's just that when resources become limitless, you're going to have an inflation effect, and they have to, because they have to cover the cost, because there's not a lot of water.
Yep.
So someone has to pay that water, right? And there's not a lot of water. So that's, I think, was the confusion. And my family didn't have. I mean, the dollar became an absolute and nothing. Yeah. You having money for the first 2 weeks,
nothing to buy.
It has no value.
Yep.
Which I was talking with my father. I was saying like, so what is the dollar for you right now? And he was like, nothing. I cannot do anything with it.
Exactly.
It's a weird feeling, man. So I can imagine like the day before, you probably say like, oh man, this thing has a value. The dollar has a value. But then after the hurricane, this thing does not have a value.
It's crazy.
I cannot do anything with it.
It is crazy. That's true.
Crazy strange, man. But we're Puerto Ricans. We deal with this stuff. There's nothing new. I mean, people act like, oh my God, this horrifying. We deal with this stuff, man.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah, we were lucky that we had a few years that we didn't get anything that strong.
Which is true, yeah.
But we always on the way of those things.
Yeah, so it's something. And I think it's had to be with the environment. I remember back in the day when I was in high school, we went to, no, it was when I was doing my bachelor's degree. Actually, I went to the Yunque for the first time, and they were just giving like a small documentary about the Yunque and why hurricanes are very important, stuff like that for Puerto Rico itself. And they were telling like it's very important to clean the area, right? That's how they clean the air, how nature clean the area, just to get things.
Yep.
And that's why we get a lot of, if we don't get a hurricane, we probably get a smaller storm, which you don't see effect like that big compared to the hurricane. But they do their stuff. They bring a lot of rain to it. They bring, and then the rivers get out of control, stuff like that. But we get this stuff all the time. So
yeah. But it's part of our our history where we are placed in the world. We get the direction of the wind with the cold water of the Atlantic, the warm water of the Caribbean Sea. We have the perfect place for hurricanes.
For hurricanes, yeah. And it happens last year. I hope it doesn't happen for the upcoming years.
Yeah.
Going to give time to people,
some street lights, they still not working.
Man. Before that, Mayagüez had. Oh man, I'm just. I'm bashing the town of Mayagüez right now. I'm sorry, folks. So Mayagüez already had problem with the street light
before the hurricane.
So the hurricane came. It just blew everything. Yep. I went to Mayagüez, man, after the hurricane stuff. Man, it was crazy.
So many
cars,
accidents. So many accidents.
Yes, man, it was horrifying, man.
Yeah.
Oh God, you will see people just going. They, very relentless through the streets.
Yep. At the beginning, the first few days we had toque de queda. How you say that?
Oh yes. Martial law.
Yep.
Martial law. Yeah.
Because everybody wanted to just wander around, and and the government wanted to fix stuff. Pick up electric lines or stuff, and people being out were just making things worse.
Yes.
So they had to do that.
They did it, and
after 6, nobody out.
After 6, And then they moved it, I think, after 9 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those things happen.
Yeah.
Martial law is real.
It is real.
And I think it's not the first time. They did it a couple times
No,
too.
of course.
But they did with George also.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with the other hurricanes. They it's not the first time that they haven't done it. It's just things to just make sure that things are well placed and stuff like that.
True.
Eliam, how do you see yourself in your city? Are you planning to just stay here forever or?
Forever, no. Do I see myself back in Puerto Rico right now? No, either. Just because, and that's another of the reasons why the question you asked me at the beginning, why New York?
Yeah.
It's because New York has more stuff happening, especially in the classical world. Even if it's by small companies, you have more stuff.
Yes.
More opportunities. To audition for, to sing with. A lot of the big auditions that happen for big opera houses or big programs.
Yes,
at
right
least
there.
they have one day that they do auditions in New York, and people from other states or
They have
even
to
from,
go
they have
all
to
the way.
travel to New York. So it's a good place to be, just to because you're close or near a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
So I don't think I will die here either.
Yeah.
No. I would love to explore a little bit more on the musical theater world. But also maybe in
pop music.
Europe going
Europe
to
too?
Europe. Now that for example, in the program, I met people from. That's the good thing about programs too. So many people from different countries come. I met people from Estonia, Poland.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Germany, Italy, France, Japan, Philippines. So you get to know more people that are active singing in their hometowns and stuff like that. So hopefully I can visit.
I mean, you would like to travel around. That's the point. That's the point of those things, that you want to just travel around, have a successful life with the things that you love.
Totally.
Yes, and just to say a side note, it's not easy to live in New York City.
It's not.
Just to
it's
it's a great city.
Yes.
But there's a lot of things that you need to be aware of. Okay. And make sure that you get a good job, which I'm working on. It's not easy to get a job here and just be like, okay, everything's fine.
True.
It's not.
True.
It's not like that.
True.
The rent is very high. You have to deal with those stuff, and it's because that we have a higher population here. We have probably 8 to 10 million people in this small island.
I will not be surprised.
Amazed, right? Yeah, and those are the things that you have to pay to be surrounded with the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good musicians around here. And I spoke with my mom yesterday, and she's a little bit worried. I can understand why. And I was telling her, this is the price that I need to pay. If I want to be the best in what I do, these are the things that I need to go through. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Or I can just go to South Florida and go to where my brother is, Milwaukee, and just have a life, which I don't like because it's very far away from the things that are really going on.
Yeah, I think that the same roughness of the city polishes you. And I guess there's a reason for the saying, if you can make it here, you can make it
anywhere. Yeah.
It is super real. It is super real.
I will tell you something, man. I never thought that I was going to just be around and make concerts, man, myself. The city, I will tell you, the city made me do those things.
Nice.
And I know this is a very hard concept for a lot of musicians to understand, but you have to make your own opportunities also. Well, I mean, I'm a pianist. I'm a little bit different. I need to make sure that I make concerts to people watch me play the instrument, whether it's just a small town, small venue, church, or anything. Also, I'm making a podcast.
Yep.
I never thought of making podcast. I'm working in my own business. This is just.
This is my
I
first
never
time in a
thought, man.
podcast.
I
Come
never
on.
thought I was going to do none of these things, man.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, man. Congrats.
It's just weird.
You are doing a lot.
And it's not easy, man. I do struggle. Money is not easy to come by. But, mom, if you're listening to this, todo va a estar bien.
Yes.
Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about me. I can handle it.
It will.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just it's a very hard things to do. You know how Puerto Ricans are with these things.
Mhm.
They're very, very touchy. They
Yeah.
don't see the other side of the fence. It's not. I came to New York City because if I wanted to do what I want to do, I had to accept the consequences of it.
Totally.
Yeah, makes sense. It's not. I knew it was not going to be easy.
Yep.
From the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm going through it, so don't get me wrong. I thought about it. Just forget it, man. I'm just tired of this thing.
Yep.
I'm just going to throw everything away. But then I put my Les Brown, Tony Robbins, motivational speaker, and just playing that thing and just gets myself going. Bam.
Good. For me, that when I sat and thought about coming to New York, it was at first the teacher, the school, someone I knew, someone from Puerto Rico. I knew other Puerto Ricans that were gonna be in the same school, blah 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 blah. But it's like you said, it's the challenges, the rent, how am I gonna do that, blah blah blah. But then, like I said, you have the opportunities close by. And if you keep working and keep trying to do the best of your abilities and whatever you're doing, it's gonna pay off. It will pay off, man. It will pay off. It will pay off.
It will. It's how can I say this? There's high competitions here.
Yep.
But I'm not even worried about that, to be honest.
Man, my best competition, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. You know how many times I hear people and singers younger than me, like, I don't know, I'm gonna be 34 this month, and I hear like,
you look great, man.
18. Thanks a lot. I hear people like 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds, and they sing like they were born singing. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? I have the chance to either think, oh, I'm too old, I should stop this and start doing something else, because come on,
just
what
go
am
to
I
the
gonna
MTA
do?
or just get a job.
What am I gonna do? Just do something else, or just try to do the best that I can.
Yes.
To my own level, to my own
expertise.
Yeah.
You know, man, I get to those moments, man. Those downhill moments. I'm like, what the hell am I doing, man?
Yep.
What the hell am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
But then I regroup myself because I only have one life.
Yep, exactly.
I only have one life.
Another big topic when I was thinking about New York or anywhere else in the world, it was my condition.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not gonna be with my family, I'm gonna be on my own. What if I take to the hospital, what's gonna happen, blah, blah, blah. And it happened. And you know what? I'm glad it happened.
The good thing is that you accepted it.
Yeah.
Which is a very hard thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do, to accept that, hey, I'm not perfect.
I'm really not.
Yeah.
But the truth is that even if I move to I don't know, Europe or wherever, if that happens, it would happen anyway. So if I keep living or thinking, oh, this is gonna happen, or what if it happens, and what if,
yeah,
I will never live.
Exactly.
I will never live. If it happens, I deal with it. I work around it. Blah blah. Work with it because I can't take it away. But you work it.
Yes.
You work it. You need to.
You leave with fear, which is the worst thing you can do.
Exactly.
Fear is how Les Brown says. Fear is the worst. Fear is what makes you go back and say, I could do this, I could do that.
Yep.
That's fear right there. Fear is, you see those stories about folks that are grown up, they go to their 60s and 70s and even 80s and say, I could have done that, I couldn't do this. That's fear. That's the effect of fear. Fear is that result of that person being 80 years old and looking back, I couldn't achieve this, I couldn't achieve that. That's fear. And we need fear. Fear is it's a biological defense mechanism of defense that we have to avoid discomfort, right?
Of course.
But then fear is your worst enemy. Because let's say you're an opera singer and you have an audition, let's say to be part of the Met or something like that, right? But then fear is telling you, don't go there. You're not good enough. You're not a good singer. You're conditioned. All that weird mentally inner stuff that is going on. But you say, no, I'm still going to do it. That's the difference. That's when you just became a better version of that person that was dealing with that inner conflict. It's a weird thing, man.
It is. And actually, another part of it, it's like checking yourself. Like, what do I have? What I can do? What, in my case, what's my, not necessarily, but it can, influence in some people's decision if they're gonna hire you or not. Your age, blah 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 blah. And then like be real. What can you do with what you have? Maybe everybody's approaching, or their goal is to sing in the Met or sing in these roles and these roles, and you have this whole bunch of people that it's pursuing the same thing. When you have the talent and the ability to maybe sing, do what you like. But maybe sing something that is not that common, that people have not looked at it because everybody's looking at the same thing, but they're missing another opportunity to sing other stuff.
I like that.
In other countries, with other groups of people. Because, I mean, music is not one thing. It's not only one type, or it's not... Music is so big, big, and that's one of the things I got from this trip to Israel. A good reality check. Where are you now? After 2 years of doing basically nothing in terms of classical music, look at where you at. It's not bad, but then what can you do? Are you gonna pursue what everybody is like going to, or you can look for other opportunities that you can play with and do both, maybe? Not just one thing. Why limit yourself to one thing?
I got a reality check also when I went to Italy, man. That last video that I'm with my sunglasses that I went to the castle, that was a reality check, man. I was feeling weird, uncomfortable, fear, happy. It was like a mix of emotions. And when I went to the castle, to the top of the castle, things they go for some weird reasons. Either way, so I went to the top of the castle, and I took my camera and I started recording myself. And I saw myself, what the hell am I doing? I'm 29 years old. What's going on with my life? And I started just ranting about myself and why I was where I was. And I discovered that my emotions were the one putting me back in places that I didn't want to be in the first place. So after I did that, I felt so relieved. Went back to New York City. Started doing my podcast. More aggressive. More into my stuff. More direct to what I want. Honest. Very honest, actually. Say more no. Say more yes when I should, right? Be more into the it was in conclusion, it was a nice experience because I always wanted to be myself. But then I was afraid to talk in front of a camera. Why? Because I'm being exposed to reality. Because when you're in front of a camera, you're exposed to reality. People are seeing you, and you have two options. You don't give a crap, or you give a crap. If you give a crap, of course, that's another issue. But if you don't give a crap, at least you're free, or you're free of things from the outside. Make sense? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I have a very similar situation when I went to Italy. that was great, man.
It was. It really was. It really was. And Jerusalem also was. It's a special place in the world, man.
Yes, it
Jerusalem
is.
is a very special place.
And for both of us, we're Christians, right?
Yeah,
And
the old city.
yes.
It's like every 3 steps something happened there. Something happened there. It's so much full of culture and history. It's really, really, really amazing.
Did you say that you had a spiritual experience there, or just, or you don't want to call it a spiritual experience, or more like, or you want to just leave it as a reality check?
I will say that everything, everything. It was a reality check. For example, when I went to, wow, what's the name of the Muro de los Lamentos in, like the old
The
wall?
big wall, yeah, that big wall, yeah.
That I will say that I had like a spiritual experience there.
Yes.
It's so heavy. It's like everybody feels something. It's such a, I don't know. You can see it just as a wall.
Yeah.
But when you think of how many years that wall has, what wall was part of, the meaning it has for the Jews right now and for the whole world, it's just a place when you can just go and have
appreciate
this connection.
And appreciate the fact that there's a lot of history there.
Yeah. I mean, I might not, share everything that the culture, believes in, but it is a special place. And I would say that day specifically, that was a spiritual experience.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
It's the fact that we should appreciate what we humans we achieved in these last, I don't know how to say, millions of years. I don't even know. Probably like thousands of years. So we should appreciate more what, as a humans, we have contributed to ourselves. Especially, I mean, I would like to visit the China's wall.
Yeah,
that would be a great experience, man.
Wow, yeah, I would like to.
Yeah, that's one of my do list, right? Bucket list.
But
I need to go there and visit China. Yeah. Eliam.
Yes.
That's it, man.
That's it. I was so nervous. You have
he
no
was
idea.
so nervous because
I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks now. I'm like, what am I gonna speak about, or what am I gonna say?
No, man, you have a lot to offer to the world.
Thank you really for the opportunity. It's been great. I don't know to how many people this is gonna reach, but hey,
one is enough.
One is enough, more than enough.
Yeah,
that's true.
And
you're right.
Of course, that's metaphorical. It will reach
no,
more.
of course, no, but yeah, but even you're right. You're right.
Yes, man. Let's give you some information. Where can people find you? Any social media platform?
Yes, I'm right now on Facebook, Eliam J Ramos. On Instagram, Eliam J Ramos as well. On YouTube, that one is coming up. My friend here is gonna help me.
Yeah.
But that one is coming up.
It needs a YouTube channel. It'll be great. I'll tell you. Well, there you go, guys. Eliam J Ramos. Thank you for coming, man.
Thanks a lot.